Welcome to this video. Let's get right into it. Every single time you pick up a prescription, walk into a hospital, or just glance at a medical insurance bill, you feel it, right? That massive, crushing financial weight. It forces us to ask a very direct question. Why does survival cost so much? Now, we're constantly fed a long list of complex excuses by the PR machines. They'll tell you it's regulatory hurdles. They say it's extensive laboratory testing. They blame the incredibly high costs of scientific innovation. But is that the real story? Okay, let's dive into this, because if you look past your local clinic and follow the money straight to the manufacturing plants, you find a very different, much darker corporate structure. Human health is not being managed by a decentralized network of independent, well-meaning scientists. It is heavily consolidated and controlled by an elite shadow cartel that has literally turned human illness into a perpetual revenue model. Section 1. The Shadow Cartel. In the high-stakes financial world, these conglomerates operate with absolute vertical integration. They don't just manufacture the pills, they own the medical patents. They completely control the distribution networks, and they influence the global supply chains of the base raw chemical ingredients. Together, this absolute integration gives them the ultimate power to decide which treatments get distributed, how much they cost, and ultimately, who gets access to survival. Section 2. Lords of the Lab. When a massive medical breakthrough actually happens, these corporate giants use complex legal frameworks to secure exclusive patents lasting for decades. This completely bars any independent laboratory from manufacturing a more affordable, generic version of the exact same life-saving compound. By actively blocking competition, they engineer an artificial scarcity in the market. They lock down the science so tight that no one else can even enter the arena. And here's the brutal, real-world contrast. A pill or manufacturing process that costs only pennies, literally just a few dollars to produce, can be priced at thousands of dollars in the consumer market. Why? Because the value of the product is no longer determined by the cost of production. It's determined entirely by how much a desperate patient is willing to pay to survive. Let's move to Section 3, the supply choke point, and see how this all builds. Even if an independent lab somehow secures the rights to formulate a treatment, they hit a massive physical barrier. APIs, or Active Pharmaceutical Ingredients. These are the crucial, essential raw chemical components required by global hubs to mix basic medical supplies. And guess what? The vast majority of these ingredients are geographically concentrated in just a few massive manufacturing centers. So how do the giants weaponize this? Well, it's a simple, ruthless four-step process. Step 1, major conglomerates buy up these raw chemical inputs in massive bulk. Step 2, they build distribution cartels around these hubs to dictate and control global shipping routes. Step 3, if an independent laboratory refuses to align with their pricing structures, their raw material supply is quietly throttled. And Step 4, competing production is shut down entirely. They suffocate independent labs before a single bottle of medicine ever hits the market. Section 4, the subscription model. Now, what's really interesting here is the harsh business logic at play. The focus of the industry is no longer just on creating definitive cures, because think about it from a purely financial perspective. A definitive cure is bad for business. A cured patient is a customer lost forever. Instead, the modern corporate model prioritizes maintenance medications. These are treatments a patient must consume every single day for the rest of their life. By shifting global research priorities toward chronic management rather than absolute eradication, the cartel has transformed healthcare into a permanent corporate subscription model. You become a permanent node in a massive corporate matrix. You are forced to pay a monthly dividend just to maintain your own biological stability. Which brings us to Section 5, the ultimate cost. We usually think of monopolies in terms of digital platforms, software networks, or financial systems. If a tech giant locks your account, sure, you lose your digital access. It's annoying, it's disruptive, but the consolidation of healthcare infrastructure represents a much more raw, dangerous level of leverage. When a small circle of private executives holds absolute dominance over the chemical lifelines required to sustain human biology, it's not about losing an account password, it's about losing your biological functions. When that level of consolidation happens, the free market disappears completely. The very architecture of physical survival is quietly walled off from the public. So the next time you see your premiums climbing and medical costs skyrocketing, remember, this isn't some random accident of economics. It is a deliberate, calculated tribute paid directly to a consolidated infrastructure, right to the gatekeepers of global health. Because on this corporate ledger, you don't just pay with your money, you pay with your breath. It's a staggering reality, but understanding this system is the very first step to navigating and questioning it. I hope this sparked your curiosity to look deeper into the commodification of survival. Thanks for joining me for this video, and keep asking the hard questions.